What is up, everybody? My name is Wes. This is Top Shelfers, and we just got done beating Clair Obscur Expedition 33. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. Before we get into the game, if this is the first time watching one of my reviews, I rate games on 11 different categories and give them a score out of 10. Those categories are graphics and visuals, gameplay mechanics, story and narrative, audio and sound design, replay value, difficulty and balance, world design and exploration, performance and technical stability, community and multiplayer, innovation and originality, and hours versus dollars. I so to kind of talk a little bit about this game. Obviously, you've heard of it. If you're a gamer, I'm sure you this has come across your feed at some point along the line, people talking about it. Whether you dabbled in it or not, or looked into it, maybe it wasn't for you. All I'm going to say is that this is probably as close to a masterpiece as you're going to find across all facets. And I'm not trying to. I was worried about the hype because a lot of times when something gets overhyped, it doesn't live up to expectations. But I seem to get proven wrong and wrong again when it comes to games, right? Uh, Baldur's Gate 3, super hyped. I thought I wasn't going to like it. Phenomenal. Expedition 33, didn't think I was going to like it. Thought it'd be overhyped. Blew my expectations out of the water. What's some other games that I can compare it to right now? Elden Ring. I mean, everyone knows Elden Ring's the goat, but it's just phenomenal what this small team did in, I think it was like what, 3 4 years, if that. It is something of a absolute masterpiece. Sorry if there's people talking in the background. It gets really loud. I can't stop that. I mean, it just is what it is. So let's jump into the rating here and just really flush out what makes this game great. So first and foremost, graphics and visuals. The quality of the game's graphics, including art style, realism, animation quality, and overall visual appeal. I don't know if there's anything that's beating it. Uh, Everything is so vastly different compared to itself in the game, and it is all beautiful. It's one of those situations where they took the time to really put in the little details that don't matter to anyone except the small percentage of people who see it. Every corner you take, everything that you look at is there. It's well done, it's beautiful, it's there for some sort of reason, and it felt like every time you're going to these different zones, I was in a whole different video game. And you just don't see that in a lot of games nowadays. It is graphically beautiful. The combat, the first times that you see the combat, the moves, the finishers, the parries, the counter attacks, it is so grand and visually stunning that it really makes you go, gee, we're playing a turn-based game right now? Like, what the fuck? It is just a beautiful, beautiful game from start to finish. The people look amazing. It's Unreal Engine at its finest. It really is. I don't know what to compare it to. It really is probably one of the best visually looking games I've played. Gameplay mechanics: how smooth and intuitive the controls are, the complexity and depth of gameplay systems, and the overall enjoyment of the playing the game. Okay, so here's the deal. Turn based is a genre that has been dead since like Final Fantasy X. When I say dead, I get Baldur's Gate's turn based, but it's a little bit different, right? Good old turn based is not a popular genre in 2025. Hasn't been a popular genre for some time. It has a very small community of people who fucking love it. I'm someone who enjoys turn based for the most part, but the criticism for turn based, I also agree. Combat gets stale. It's super rinse and repeat. yada yada yada. All they did to make it more fun is they added in a parry and a dodge system, and it made it fun. It really did. Dodging is a little bit easier than parry. Parrying is going to get you bonuses. It's going to get you AP on attacks. If you haven't played, it's not relevant to you until you play. But your timing has to be on point. And one of my big concerns was I was thinking, well, maybe it's going to get boring or it's going to get stale. And there was points where I was like, I'm kind of done fighting all these mobs, right? But that's a me problem. I don't like grinding in games. I don't like farming as much. I've done it for so many years in different games. I just like the meat and potatoes. I skip all the sides, man. I really do. Um, all the way through all the boss fights, I never thought that they were boring. And they are challenging. They're more challenging than you're gonna think. Unless you over farm and you boost your characters up way hard, you're going to struggle with these fights. They're not just one and done fights every single time. I mean, we're not talking Elden Ring level where I'm on attempt 3 or 400, right? I think maybe our hardest boss was took 15 tries, maybe 10 tries. The game is fun. It really is. The game is fun. I'm going to give it a 9. Story and narrative. The quality of the storyline, the character development, dialogue, and how engaging and immersive the overall narrative experience is. I don't know how many times I cried in this game. Like 5. I tried to hide it on stream. But like, it is such a fascinating story from start to finish. Now, there is a little bit, depending on how you like your stories. I got kind of meh near some of the ending parts, just in the sense of like, we had such a grand scale of interesting things, and then it just kind of turned into family. Hey, hold on. Before I continue, I don't want to spoil anything. The story is in one direction, and you think it's going somewhere, and then it takes a complete different turn, and then you're like, oh shit. And then it takes another turn, and you're like, oh fuck. And then it takes another turn, and you're like, huh, interesting. Um, the story's phenomenal from start to finish. I have my points that I'm like, okay, I you have to dig deeper into the meaning. What you get at face value can be deceiving. Um, they talk in riddles sometimes, in the sense of like, they're not saying directly what they want to say because they want this deeper message to be there, but it's not overly complicated. It's not an Elden Ring where you need to go and search text on the ground to try and understand what story's going on. I thought this was one of the best narrative experiences I've played in a game. um, I can't give it a 10 because I still think that there the couple things in the middle I was like, but it's as close to a 10 as you're gonna get. Audio and sound design. I mean, if I could give this all of the points that have ever existed in gaming history, I would. I don't think that there is a better soundtrack that has existed in a game. I really don't. Even games that are built around sound, this this might blow it out of the water. And not only is the music not a typical genre, I'm sure if you haven't heard the main theme of Clair Obscur, go look at it, go watch it. There's a live performance. It's very different music. It's in French. It is so phenomenal. But all of the gaming combat music was done by some guy who's passionate about gaming music that they found on SoundCloud. How fucking cool is that? Like, every single boss fight, every single zone, even like sub zones in the zone or sub mini bosses, all have their own unique music. And they all fucking bangs, bro. It all is good. Every single one of them was good. There is not a song in this fucking game or combat music or background music where I was like, meh. It was all good. And then Don't even get me started on the voice acting. 10 out of 10. All of the voices fit all of the characters. They were all top quality. You had some big people in here. One of the main characters is the fucking dude from Daredevil. I mean, they had a stacked lineup of voice actors. An absolute 10. Play the game just for the fucking sound, man. Replay value. The extent to which the game encourages replayability through multiple endings, side quests, new game plus, multiplayer modes, and other factors. I want to jump back in immediately, and it's not just because the game is enjoyable. There's so much shit I didn't do. There's so many side bosses I never did, ones that I wasn't even tough enough to do that you're supposed to do post beating the game because they're such higher level, they're so difficult. There's a whole fucking second ending that completely changes the ending of the game. Like a whole entire thing. There's new game plus, there's side quests. It definitely encourages you to play more, and I want to play more. I usually don't want to play games a second or a third time that are story based because you kind of understand. Like when I'm a person, when I know the ending, I'm less excited, right? If I can predict the ending, I'm less excited. This seems like a game that you would get so much more out of it a second time because you know what's going on behind the scenes. You see the small things now, and you're like, oh shit, I didn't even realize that's why they said that or that's why they did that. It really is catered to a second replay. Okay, 10, yeah, 10 for sure. Difficulty and balance. How well the game is balanced in terms of challenge, difficulty, progression, and fairness, catering to both casual and hardcore players. I struggle with some of this, and I'm a grumpy fuck, and I get agitated really easy when I'm not doing well. But I never felt like the game was being unfair. I just suck. I was just sucking at the mechanics, which make me mad, not at the game, at myself. And there's flaws, right? There's some flaws in the game. You can't restart on boss fights in the middle of it. That's annoying because some of the boss fights are 10, 15 minutes long, right? That's annoying right off the whip. That's something they should change in the future if they do revisit, do a DLC, whatever it is. That should be changed, but that's okay. Um, Sometimes you feel under leveled if you don't go farm, but if you just get good, you can beat the fight. I would be curious to see how people who aren't, you know, good with timing would enjoy this game. I did play it on hard mode, so it was harder. Um, but there is a medium and a story mode that I imagine story mode you probably just run through the game and do all the fun stuff and not really worry about figuring out rotations or min maxing or anything like that with your characters. I don't know. I didn't play story mode like I said, but I felt like it was fair and balanced and fun enough and still challenging for a churn based thing. I didn't look up builds online. I just kind of went, like, I kind of progressively found a build that I really liked that worked off my characters together well and just rolled with it. And I was able to beat the game, doing that. So I thought difficulty and balance is good. I think this is a good dip your toes into a little bit more of a challenging game than maybe what more casual people are used to. I'm going to give the difficulty an 8. World design and exploration, the richness and detail of the game world, that diversity of environments, and the sense of discovery and exploration offered the player. Again, a 10. It really is. I got a little, like I said, I'm a meat and potatoes type of guy. Near the end, I kind of stopped going around and searching for stuff and looking for things. But 80% of the game, I just wanted to look at shit. I just wanted to see what there was to see. And like I mentioned, every single environment's different. Every single area you go to is so grand and beautiful. And I didn't even mention like the every single boss room is so unique to that boss, even down to the details in the background and the foreground. Like it really is a labor of passion from these developers. Performance and technical stability, how well the game runs technically, including factors such as frame rate, loading times, optimization across different platforms, and the absence of bugs and glitches. I played on PC on mouse and keyboard. I know it says controller, but mouse and keyboard was fantastic. It maybe there was a couple visual bugs like in the world when you're walking around. Might get stuck on a rock or like a pole every once in a while. Nothing that you even think about. Nothing that you're like, oh, this sucks. The loading times, there is loading times, especially after like dying on boss fights, but you just don't. It's not long enough to impact your game. You don't sit there and like, Jesus Christ, come on, let's go. There's sometimes, and this is like a game thing, not a performance thing, but sometimes like if you're doing a boss fight, they don't let you like just start right at his feet and start the battle. You kind of got to walk there, but it's not. Again, it's nothing that is horribly going to take away from your experience, right? I thought it was technically just fine. I'm going to give it a 9.5. There's no multiplayer, so we're not going to rank multiplayer. Innovation and originality, so the extent to which the game introduces fresh ideas, innovative gameplay mechanics, or unique twists on existing genres, contributing to its overall creativity and distinctiveness. Like I said, they somehow managed to get gamers back interested in turn-based combat in a more popular. I don't know how I'm going to say this. They brought back turn-based combat. They made it relevant again. They made it fun. Turn-based. I'm sure there's indie games and other games that do turn-based combat even more exciting or more better. But this is the first game that has popped up in the limelight for a long time that's turn-based that was exciting to play. Match that with the story, the beautifulness of the visuals. It worked. It really did. Is the story original? Absolutely. And I do hope that they do more in that world, because they left little nuggets of things of the world, the bigger world, the extra world, the third world, the fifth world, etc., etc. I'm just saying stuff so it doesn't spoil it. But there's little nuggets of information throughout the game that shows that there's so much, like vastly more going on than even what we get to experience, right? And I hope that they do more with it. I don't know if that's a second game, if it's DLC, if it's I don't know, but they did it. I mean, they did it. Innovation, originality. I mean, it is a turn-based game, so I got to dock them a couple points there, but they made turn-based fun. I'm going to give it an 8. And then hours versus dollars. This is free on the Games Pass if you have your $10.99 Games Pass, and then I don't know how much it is. Let's see here. Clair. Whoa. Hold on. Did we just find out live that Deltarune is out now? Okay. That's interesting. We'll discuss that later. Clair Jesus, if I can type. Clair Obscur is $49.99. I don't know what all this stuff is. I don't know what the deluxe edition is. You just get other shit. Oh, you just get cosmetics. Okay, well that's cool. If you care about cosmetics, you can get a lot of free cosmetics in the game. So the base game is $49.99 if you don't have Games Pass. I beat the game in... Where's my time played? I know it's somewhere around here. I don't know why it's not telling me all of a sudden. I think we were at 21 or 22 hours, and I could easily sink another 40 into the game. I think hours versus dollars is right where it needs to be. So, with that being said, let's break out our handy-dandy calculator and get a score here. Easily the best score that we've done so far. A 9.3 out of 10. Clair Obscur, Expedition 33. Thank you guys so much for watching this review. Play this game. You will not be disappointed. If you are, I don't know what to tell you. Have some fun in life, I guess. Thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.